Hey everybody, my name is Suede and welcome to QC Spectator Mode. Let's launch this off. Ooh, so it's 357 against 246, 2468. So there's a little twist for this game type. I'm not actually participating. It is a 3v4 and I am just in God mode right now and I will spectate the entire game and comment the entire game for you. So let's pray I set this up right. Yes, okay, that's perfect. Okay, so these are my observers. I'll just delete these units because we're not going to need them. Okay, so this is to make sure we have enough money for espionage and diplomacy. Or diplomacy, I mean like building embassies and then investigating cities. And now we can see the entire map with our observers. So, 4v3 QC, 357 against 2468. So that means Sid, who is Typo, if you guys are familiar with previous games, El Quixote and Ironclad against Silent Knight, Orangine, SOS, and Halu. So DE9, let's find them first. DE and then 9. Oh, well, way off in the corner. Oh, yeah, there they are. So we can see the map here in case we need to find anyone. So here's them. There's going to be a player north of them. Yep. Already roading. Okay, AB6 is Halu. Yeah, we just need to find the players first, and then we'll talk about the teams and talk about the different players and their skill levels and that kind of thing. D7 is Ironclad. Ah, nice, we got him. Oh no, that's SOS. Where's Ironclad? So he should be... Okay, he should be over here. Great. And who are we missing? There's a player like kind of central over here. Oops, not there. Great. Let's get some more observers, just so we're sure that we can see everything at all times. And we'll end turn. Great. And we're missing one player over here. Okay, that should be just about everybody. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Great, and we can explore the rest of the map as the players in the map explore. So let's talk about the teams. So we have 357 as one team against everybody. So 3. I watch. Let's see, is he doing great? He moved his worker to the sugar. Yes, he is doing absolutely perfectly. This is actually the exact same moves that I would have made in that situation. So he's doing... I'm not even lying to him. Okay, so we got our observer out. Let's just queue up a bunch of those. So these are the units we use to recon. They have unlimited range. They're like a modded version of the F-15. And so they'll let us see the entire map. Great, everybody's planted. I have to make sure to remember to end my turns just so I don't slow down the game. Great. They haven't actually built a second unit yet. Yeah, normally the first thing you want to do is get out a scouting warrior or a literal scout if you're an expansion civ. So I think there's like a bug where if you like do like a bunch of these at end of turn, I don't know if that works. There's like a way to like get recon to last permanently and like to be able to permanently see parts of the map. So if we can get that going, that'd be nice. But yeah, so we have red, pink, and light blue. Okay, so that means that Orangine is actually isolated. Orangine is probably a very average, maybe a bit above average player in this crowd. But that's actually an interesting situation because what 4v3s often come down to is that one of the teams might be really isolated. Like if the 3-player team is isolated, it's really difficult for them to progress in terms of techs. Whereas if one of the players on the 4-player team is isolated, it's not as hard with techs, but it's hard for them to survive militarily. Because generally, 4-player teams will have weaker players on them. Oops. And with weaker players, they're more prone to getting like isolated and killed. I mean, it's more that like Typo's a very aggressive player. He's not like the best player, but especially. Oh, sorry, I said this wrong. So it's pink. Oh, this is an interesting one. Huh. Okay. So Sid or Typo, Ironclad as Spain, and El Quixote as France. That is one team. And then everybody else is the other team. So here, and then these two, I believe. Oh no, sorry. These two. Interesting. Okay, so the first thing I considered is it might be difficult for the French to get contact. The French are near to being coastal, though, so if like the French can get out a boat, or if the Spanish can get out a boat, that should probably clear that right up. And then the Iroquois and the Spanish should be decently able to contact each other without issue. One thing I should probably grab is eventually I need to do these texts to be able to see the resources on the map. But since like the cost of a research actually scales with the number of civs that know it, like it becomes cheaper the more civs know it, so I don't want to research them too early because that would interfere with the game. Okay, I think we have this patch of land permanently illuminated, so that's good. Yeah, so there's going to be... One thing I like to do when spectating these games is take a look at where the major military fronts are going to be. So, I guess before we get into that, we should talk about the relative skills of the players. So if I had to rank the players from best to worst, I'd probably say Halu and then Ironclad, although they're very, very close in skill. They're both very, very talented players. Halu is more of like a late game focused player, whereas Ironclad really excels in the early to mid game, like early mid game. But he can, like if he plays for the late game, he can play for the late game quite effectively, but often he'll do like rushing strategies a little bit earlier. Whereas Halu is more late game focused, although he is still pretty aggressive early game. Like he is not someone you want spawning next to you. Now, who else do we have? After that, I'd probably say El Quixote. El Quixote is a very strong player. He's got some issues with communication and just the English language in general. But like in terms of like the amount of pressure he puts on the map, it's just absolutely absurd. So that will create some problems for Halu, although I think Halu is equipped to deal with those problems, because Halu only has Silent Knight over here, who is his ally, and then, yeah, SOS is also Halu's ally. So the only military pressure that Halu will be facing is against El Quixote. So this actually might be bad for El Quixote then. After El Quixote, I'd have to say probably Orangine would come next. Typo is probably the more rounded player in terms of Civ overall, but Orangine is better at QC specifically, and that's the mod that we're watching right now. Sid or Typo is very good at MPT. He's actually getting better at Future too, but he's probably a bit below average at QC at the moment. He likes more of a rushing style, so he puts a lot of really aggressive pressure on early game, which is not really it's not really a meta game strategy in QC outside of a few particular situations. But yeah, after these two, I'd say I don't know how good. Like SOS is a Russian player, and so he joined us quite recently. I'm not sure if he's better than SK or not, but they're probably the two bottom players. Sorry, it has to be somebody. Oops. Great, so we got some second cities coming out. Let's just take a look at everybody so we can guarantee to make contact with them. Okay. Yeah, okay, they're picking up the phone. That's good, I guess. Oh, nice. Looks like the Dutch have 1 per turn growth going. So they're like a newer player to QC, so it's good that they are able to do that for themselves. Oh, they actually have to answer, I guess, before I may be able to see them in the diplomacy screen. So we'll try that one more time. Okay. Great, let's round out the rest of the map here. So in terms of fronts, I think this is going to be a really big front right here between the Dutch and the Spanish. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Spanish put a lot of immediate military pressure on the Dutch. Although one thing the Dutch do have going for them is that they do have the better civ. Like Spain is just such an awful early game civ. In fact, if they didn't have like the powerhouse unique unit, they'd just be removed from the game entirely. Yeah, their unique unit in niche situations can be absolutely devastating. Or just, I mean, general, it just like creates a lot of pressure on the map because they can go like they have such the Conquistador has such great movement that it creates a lot of uncertainty, and the enemy has to like position a lot of defensive troops just based on the threat that they might exist somewhere on the map. Like you don't even have to build any conquistadors to exploit the benefits of the conquistador. So we have contact with everybody, I think, except for the Iroquois. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that, buddy. And let's go for diplomats everywhere. Okay, so Silent Knight's going for his granary. Turn 8, probably a bit late, but not too bad. Typo, or Sid, has his granary out, and he's going for his settler. Yep. Orangine is actually playing how I would play. Yeah, if he does the city right here, that is like perfect in line with the one chop like 10 turn guide, 12 turn guide, whatever I called it. Let's see, France. So it'll be interesting to see where he deviates. Okay, this is high production for the French, so they're going to be able to get some units out. So they have high production and high growth because they have floodplains and furs on forest. Oh, SOS is getting pretty big. You'll notice that they actually didn't go for granary, which in this situation is understandable since they have the floodplains. So they don't need the granary to grow one per turn. But they should really be getting a cellar out next thing because they're about to hit size 7. And once you hit size 7, you require twice as much food to grow. So it's inefficient to grow past that size. Okay. So they did the Mongols did deviate actually from what I would do. We'll take a look. Yeah, I would have had that cellar done last turn, or at the start of this turn. They delayed it one turn, but that's still going to be, like, if they plant the city right there, that's still a very fast growth, especially for, like, a mid-tier player. Hallows B5. Okay, they're starting to find each other. Elk from C6, yeah. I think that's them spotting each other. Great, anyone we're missing? Spain? Okay, it looks like he chopped the forest. So yeah, he's gonna have his granary out in 2. That's not bad. Huh. It's weird how he's grown so fast. Keep an eye on what he's doing here. And one more person. Germany. Yeah, this is standard. Oh, I guess he irrigated here. That's a bit strange. But if he plays his cards right, he can... Let's see, he got a granary. So it's not strictly necessary for the Germans to get a granary in this position, just because they have the wines. Yeah, they did get the granary. Okay. It does allow them more production, though. Yeah, but I think given the fact that their bonus grassland's kind of inaccessible, like it's hard for their workers to get over there and irrigate it, I'd probably go for the granary too in that spot. Yeah, SK does have SK Silent Knight. Sorry, they do have a bit slow land to work with, so it's not really surprising they're getting their second city out pretty late. Yeah, you'll notice the second city's come out. That's a good spot for the second city. 2 tiles away from the capital, already pre-roaded, and has bonus grassland accessible. Great. Huh. How did he get 4 shields? I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he must have used the Oasis tile. Ooh, okay, so Hal is trying to send Clever here. He's going to stack chariots, and that's why he's asking for no horseback riding. Because once you get horseback riding, you can no longer build the chariot. But chariots can be upgraded to horsemen. So if you can build a bunch and then upgrade them, you can have a lot of luck on offense early on. Who are they trying to contact? Orangine? Yeah, you'll notice we have all this... We can see a lot of the map without actually doing anything at the start of turn. Just because of... there's like a bug with Recon where sometimes it hangs around. Okay, let's check out SK right now. One thing I suspect is that... Oh, okay, he actually just got his granary online. Okay, if he micros his worker to irrigate that tile or to move the citizen over to that tile, then he should be able to grow next turn. Okay, let's see what Spain is up to. Okay. So they could do a settler next turn if they'd need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, if they use these 3 tiles, or yeah, they need the new citizen needs to be assigned to the forest tile after the city grows at the start of next turn. So it's possible for them to get a settler city out if they want, or they could just go for a military unit. Nice. Typo's building pretty fast. And we'll see how heads collide over here. Like, I think this is inevitable right now. So if you remember, SOS actually delayed their second settler quite a bit. So they have the advantage in terms of military strength right now. But in the long run, I mean, obviously more cities, more units. Okay, let's see what he got here. Okay, oh, he just went for the warrior. I think he could have grabbed an archer with a little micro, but you get what you get. Speaking of micro, it looks like SK, he should have, yeah, you'll see this here. So this is actually, I can illustrate to people who are curious about how micromanagement works in Civ 3. So last turn he had 4 food in the box. Yeah, he had 4 food in the box. And he had 4 surplus food coming in. Now, if he had assigned the citizen, moving it from this tile to that tile, this one's irrigated and that one's not irrigated, so that would have been 2 more food, which would have given him exactly enough to grow. But he didn't do that, and so he doesn't get the extra citizen, and so his settler is delayed. So for this reason, it's really important to micromanage your growth and micromanage which tiles your citizens are working in order to maximize growth. Yeah, that's one of the unique quirks about Civ 3. Like, there's no spillover in Civ 3. So you really have to micromanage things to make sure you're using your resources effectively. Let's see what Orangine has here. Okay, they're expanding in this direction now. I really like the spawn locations on this map. It's going to be a very action-packed game. So we're going to have Halu and El Quixote going at it. Yeah, El Quixote has already assembled quite a few troops here. Halu's expansion is slowed a bit. Interesting how Typo has the fastest third city out, it seems. Oh, after Ironclad, I guess that makes sense. Okay, I think it's safe to get bronze working in the wheel. Yeah, one of the other disadvantages to letting your city grow too big is you have to deal with civil disorder. This is regent difficulty, technically. So the first 2 citizens are automatically content. The third one is unhappy. And any ones beyond the third one are unhappy too. Okay. So this is actually going to be another big front. We'll look at the spawn locations again. So here, okay. So it looks like he moved northeast. He moved off the bonus grassland. And then Typo moved off the forest onto the desert. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. It's actually a really good city for him. Normally I take the tempo advantage. Like, if you just plant where you are, you're like a turn ahead. and so that gives you some advantages, but it does create like a kind of cool city here. So much commerce. And thanks to being agricultural, he's growing pretty fast too. What is he doing in Barcelona? Is he making that a military city? Oh, interesting. Okay. He actually has 1 per turn growth here, which I didn't assume would happen, like unless he had a granary, because it's just desert. But he's using the oasis. He's using the tobacco, which is modded in QC to produce extra food. And he's using them quite effectively in order to get a bunch of workers out. Although, interestingly enough, he went for a fast 3 cities, and then he switched over to barracks and then got a bunch of military units out. So it's actually interesting seeing how Ironclad does it. That's how he puts on pressure in the early mid-game, by starting building units very quickly. Although his... yeah, this is just awful land for SK specifically. Like, there's a path, if you're like an experienced player, to grow quickly with this land. You'd plant where you are, irrigate the sugar, and then your second city would be here, and then you wouldn't need a granary, so you could grow just a little bit faster. That didn't happen. He planted a second city here, which is like, if he was at war with Halu, that'd be like a good defensive position, but Halu's his ally. So personally, I'd definitely go for the fast growth here. I guess from there, you'd want to expand to the grassland as soon as possible so you can get the quick grassland growth. But here, there's no 6 food tile, and you need a 6 food tile to be able to grow 1 per turn. So Sparta will never be able to grow 1 per turn. Yeah, just never. Even if it uses, like this is 6 food, because it's sugar plus 2. So the way it works in QC, if you don't know, is all the food yields are doubled, or most of them, relative to the base game. So the sugar, and there's no despotism penalty. So sugar with no despotism penalty, irrigated would be 3 in the base game, so it's 6 in QC. Plains would be 2 irrigated, and so it's 4 in QC. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have our first 4 city. It's weird how, like, the first person to build 2 cities is not the same person who builds 3 cities first. And they aren't the same person who builds 4 cities first. Like, I think it was, like, Halu... Ironclad. It might have been Ironclad if they just got Toledo out. Anyway, so you're going to see... Is he going to move end of turn here? No. Okay, so that's why Halu's military growth, his expansion is a little slow because he's going for some early horsemen, it seems. I don't think that's going to do too much here, except for push El Quixote away. Because El Quixote has a bunch of sentries out here. So SOS went for fast walls in Rotterdam. That's something I wouldn't do. If you're paranoid about like defense, you should be building military units and not walls. The thing is, like, walls, they're just useless if the city does not get attacked. I mean, I guess it can dissuade attacks, which might be useful in its own way. But other than that, you don't get any value out of them. Whereas if you like build a bunch of warriors to defend the city, even if the city doesn't get attacked, you can go scout with those warriors. You can use those warriors as sentries, like place them on mountains across the land. You can use them to kill barbarians, military police. There's a bunch of different uses, whereas walls are just walls, you know. Okay, so Hal is showing his hand here. And El Quixote doesn't actually have any offensive units, so he can't really attack the horsemen. Looks like Ironclad's fighting barbarians. Interesting. So Typo is the second player to 3 cities, but he still doesn't have 4 yet. Although neither does Typo. Or sorry, neither does Halu. Halu's supposed to be the big scary player on their team. I guess I should predict how this game is going to go. So let's take a guess. So Ironclad is going to build a big stack of archers mixed with swordsmen once he hooks this iron, and try to kill SOS. It's just going to be a stack of land units. He's not really a fan of horsemen, so he probably won't mix those in. But you can definitely like put a big stack here, and then while the city's distracted, you go attack another city. So that's what's going to happen on that front. I think there's not going to be a lot of interaction between the Mongols and the Spanish, or the Iroquois and the Dutch. Typo is he's focused on his own thing, basically. So while I think like the smart play for him might be to ignore, like just hold the line against the Mongols and then go attack the Dutch, that's not really in his play style. He likes to go for the threat in front of him and take them on directly. So yeah, I think they're just going to be locked in 1v1. And because Typo doesn't have iron or horses near, I think that should come out about even. I'd actually give the advantage in the long run to Orangine, because Orangine tends to grow more. But you'll definitely see Typo start to erode in this direction and put on pressure, like basically have units around this land. And that could cause Orangine to overreact and to delay his growth. So that might be bad for them. So yeah, I think these will go even, and maybe Ironclad will kill SOS. Does SOS have access to iron? Yeah, it's not too far if they can road up there. Shall I protect this iron? What's he wondering about? Oh, yeah, there's no way. Huh, that's interesting. So Halu is actually sending a lot of units south towards Ironclad. I guess he heard that Ironclad was down there and he wanted to... Like, because generally you'd think putting pressure on El Quixote would be better because El Quixote is closer. But he's decided that Ironclad is the bigger threat. Of course, I didn't realize this at the time, but France actually doesn't have access to iron or horses. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should have like designed the map meticulously. It'd be nice if I could like guarantee that everybody has at least some chance of hooking any resource that they might need. Like for example, here, Iroquois isn't guaranteed this iron. Maybe SK will get to it first, but they at least have a shot of getting to it. Who are they planning to attack? Must be SOS. Let's see what's in the hog. One archer and then one warrior. Okay. So they'll almost certainly win that combat. I guess it's possible that they don't, though. Oh, they're going for it. Oh, yeah, he sees it, yeah. That's not an attack I'd go for, personally. Yeah. Typo seems intent, though. So good news is the archer is fortified, but whatever warrior comes out of the hog will not be fortified. So because of that, the archer will be the defending unit because it has the higher defense strength. And so no defensive bombard goes off. Whereas if the archer was unfortified, then the cheaper unit, because they both have equal defense value, would be the defender. So the warrior would defend, and then the archer would provide defensive bombard. And in multiplayer defensive bombard, there's a bug which makes it very powerful. So because of that, is possible that they would take the city. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I mean, they can see it's not empty. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, he knows what's up. SK attack typo. Okay, well, it's the smart third city dive out. Huh, oh, so that's actually... Silent Knight is the one who's roaring to Halu. That's good that Halu can get some silks that way and eventually pass some spices back. Oh, I'm teching right now. I should not be doing that. I should be ending turn, too. Huh, okay, Alkitate is not actually incredibly big. They just look big because they've expanded far. But I think he does have the most cities. Yep, 6 cities. We need chivalry as soon as possible. Wonder what he thinks the rush is. I guess maybe he needs to relieve the Dutch and relieve the Mongols. There's no real good defensive spots. There's no hills here. So normally I'd say like if there was a hill here, you could put a city here, fortify that city well, and then you can be pretty safe to focus on other fronts. But because there's no city like that, he is going to have to pay attention to El Quixote. Especially since he doesn't know that El Quixote has no resources. Of course, El Quixote is on the same team as Ironclad and the Iroquois. So Ironclad can actually pass him iron unless Halu expands to the coast. So if Halu expands to the coast, that will cut off the sea trade, potentially, between these two. I mean, I don't even know if they built the right units for sea trade, but yeah. It is what they're going to want to do in the long run. Okay, I made my spies elite since the last time I casted with... Like, I did a practice cast. Or it wasn't supposed to be a practice, but it ended up being a practice because I fucked it up in a bunch of different ways. One thing that was fucked up was I didn't make my spies elite. So I was like consistently failing these spy missions, which is a pain in the ass because it like alerts the players who I'm spying on, which I don't want to interfere with the game in that way. Because they get like the pop-up and it can be distracting to them. But yeah, like 3 out of 4, that's good. Yeah, before it was like 40% of my spy missions were succeeding, so this is definitely a step up. Okay, so what that's going to mean is that I can actually see their army, which isn't actually very interesting at the moment, but it will be eventually. Just making sure you got the memo that it's a 4v3 and I'm not actually participating. Yeah, imagine if you were just thought you're just playing a standard game of 4v4 Civ 3. All of a sudden in the ancient era somebody starts spying on you. Oh, they're in the next era already. And they do have contact with the Mongols. I'm wondering when that happened. Oh, they must have just slipped a scout through. Yeah, that's not even hard at all. So the more difficult one would be... If there's any... Okay, yeah. El Quixote has a boat out. So he needs to find the Spanish. Don't think the Spanish have any boats out yet, but that's one I wanted to check. Oops. Yeah, it should put an end to that. So let's check the Wonders tab. Nope, nobody building any Wonders except me. That's just to kill time so I don't get a bunch of warriors. Nice, we got them. Okay, let's see if they have any boats out. No, a lot of archers though. He's also still on 5 cities, which is actually less than... Interestingly, the typo's still on 3 cities. Empty. Just a warrior. Eight archers, 5... Where are those units? They must all be in Grand River. Or on the map somewhere. Yeah, that's typo, alright. He's gonna try something against Almarak, but I don't know. He doesn't have the road that tile. Yeah, I think that would be enough to hold off with the defensive bombard bug. Or at least buy time for him to reinforce from other cities. Oh, you'll see here the Mongols are actually making a move towards the iron here. Although one thing happens when when 2 civs reach the medieval era, then a spawn of barbarians, or like a stack of barbarians, will spawn in every camp. So that's what you're seeing right here. And that might interfere with the ability of the Mongols to hook their the iron that they need. Oh, interesting. A forward plant here. Huh, he might be trying to make a play towards the horses and the iron here. I don't think he could do that without Halu noticing, though. As long as it's actually 10 minutes. And not what Halu thinks is 10 minutes, which, oh god. So Halu's 5-minute breaks are bad enough, but if it's a 10-minute break for Halu, he's just not coming back. Okay, who am I missing spies on? Halu, I guess. And Elk. Ah. So Not really. Oh, yeah, okay. Alkiote is moving in. Looks like he fought some battles here. Hallow's kind of short on units, especially dealing with the barbarians down south and having sent a lot of units towards Ironclad. Sunboke to Elk typo. What the fuck? Yeah, it's funny because like sometimes people will be talking about things that I like absolutely 100% agree with, and sometimes people will just be saying ridiculous shit. That's obviously ridiculous to me because I can see the entire map, but I can't spoil it for them, so just have to leave them in their ignorance. But yeah, I mean, it is absolutely 100% Ironclad's job. He is the seafaring civ, and he is the one who is actually coastal. I guess 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you could actually make it over here if you had a galley, but it's not his job. Elk has he has a boat out though, so it's not like there's going to be some ridiculous situation where the civs can't get contact and the game has to end. Moving pretty slowly, but surely. Tapo's got to be careful where he puts his units. If he's leaving a city as empty, then barbarians might be a pretty big problem for him. It's going to be interesting to see how people develop in the late game, though. Okay, let's do our stack check. It seems like most of the players just have archers and warriors. Yeah, they're about even. Netherlands, 8 archers, 2 spearmen, 7 warriors. Yeah, Spain might be a little stronger than him. But Spain is outscaling him because more cities, you know. Who are they attacking against? Oh. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here's typo being typo. Oh, the city has walls now. Yeah, that's... I mean, I'll check out what's in Almarac. If there's only 1 archer or something like that, then... Oh, 2 archers, yeah. I think he's going to hold on. It wasn't a completely wasted attack then from typo. Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. Gonna have to agree with Hallow on that one. Yeah. I mean, if you look at this, he killed 4 units. The 0 to 4 comes from the defensive bombard bug. Defensive bombard was actually so strong that it killed those units outright. But it looks like he lost like 8 archers or so, and he only killed 4 units. So, and some of those were probably warriors. So definitely advantage in favor of the Mongols. And if we check the city, there's going to be like 6 units left. Yeah, 5. That wasn't even close to a kill. Oh, nice. So he has some settlers out. That's good. Based on these positions, I'd say that... Oh! We haven't given the teams names. Ooh, what should we do? Let's do the Diagonal. Team Diagonal against Team Coastal. Yeah, Team Diagonal against Team Coastal. Typo's going to be coastal soon enough. And this is like a lake is a coast, so there's literally coast in this capital. Oh yeah, that's an interesting fact. Oh no, this coast near the Spanish capital though. Anyway, so Team Diagonal and Team Coastal. So just looking at the situation right now, I think that I'd have to give the advantage to Team Diagonal, and that's mostly because of the solid performance out of Orangine. The Greeks and the Dutch are lagging behind a little bit. But like if they can like establish themselves along this diagonal and start trading along this diagonal, they'll just have such a massive advantage of being united. Now, the one wrench that the other teams can throw, or sorry, that Team Coastal can throw into this plan right there, is a quick kill against the Dutch. And I think that's going to be very important for them. Of course, the Dutch have been playing very defensively, so it's going to need to be a crazy, crazy doom stack out of Ironclad. But if he can do that before the Dutch hook their iron, it could be a good spot for them. If the Dutch hook iron, I think it's going to start to be very difficult for Team Coastal to win. No, maybe he can brute force through the iron too, but just right now I'm saying Team Diagonal is in a good spot. Like the Greeks and the Dutch don't even have to do too much. They just have to like physically occupy this space in the middle of the map and prevent the Team Coastal from really consolidating any power they have and really asserting themselves on the map. Just by physically occupying the space and defending the space. Like that's one thing that people don't think a lot about in Civ 3, but there are some weird perks associated with things being your territory. I mean, they're not weird at all. They make a ton of sense, but like for example, what are the benefits to this tile being inside the green land as opposed to outside this one? So one thing people don't often think about is vision. That's not so much important in single player games, but in multiplayer it's extremely important to have vision. So for example, if the Dutch just straight up weren't here and the Greeks weren't here, then the Spanish could be roading towards the Germans and take out the Germans. But because you have the two civilizations acting as outposts, as sentries kind of, the Germans are safe and know that their southern flank is secure. So they only have to worry about their flank or their front with the French. The other thing that territory provides is its vision and road access. So the enemy cannot road inside your land. So obviously he physically cannot road through Dutch land. And also healing. You can't heal an enemy territory. So yeah, fighting combat in an area that's in your territory is very favorable for you as a civilization because you can move faster from your roads, you have perfect vision of what's going on, and your enemy cannot heal. There's a few other benefits, obviously, like this is outside of his territory, so he can't. His cities can't assign citizens to that tile. And also he doesn't have access to strategic or luxury resources that aren't in his territory without a colony. But yeah, in terms of combat, those are the relevant ones. Vision, roads, and healing. So Typo started to retreat. Ooh. Orangine's actually getting a little fancy here. Yeah, so this is why, I made a video, titled QC University, kind of explaining my thoughts on how QC should be played, the optimal ideal strategy. And this is pretty much the reason that I said don't go for rushes, because look at this. The Mongols are just in such a dominant position because they spent their resources expanding. It was so easy for them to hold off to the attack whilst simultaneously expanding. It's just so easy to do both, to defend and to expand, that you might as well do that. Okay, let's see if we can get some of this vision to last into next turn. Yeah, you'll notice we have random pockets of vision throughout the map. It's pretty bizarre, but I like it. Killed lots going to heal. That's not how I describe that battle. He killed exactly 4 units, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, iron, please. He's asking Silent Knight to pass him the iron. Okay, so this is interesting from El Quixote. El Quixote is actually forward settling onto Halu. It's kind of bold because Halu has resources, but El Quixote doesn't. I guess in that sense, El Quixote needs to establish like a front from which he can defend the rest of his civilization. And this is like the narrowest point, right? Because if he was fighting here, I mean, that's like, there's situations where you're going to have to fight somewhere. You might as well take as much land as possible. Like, either, like, basically, if Typo doesn't plant a city here, then the Mongols can. You can't create distance unless it's, like, created mutually between you and your enemies. Both of you and your enemies have to both want to have distance between you. Otherwise, the enemy can just close the distance on you. Like, you might think, oh, I shouldn't plant a city here, that's too close to him. Well, if he wanted to be close to you, he'd just plant a city near you, you know? So, given that, especially if like you know you're going to go head to head, you know you're going to be fighting all game, given that you're going to be that close together, it might as well be you who takes the city real close. Because that city is this city is going to exist, whether it is the Mongols or the Iroquois who builds it. Of course, neither of these two players are top-tier players, so they might not realize that that's the case. There might never be a city planted here. But if this was like me and Halu or me and Ironclad, then yeah, the city was going to get planted eventually. Like, that's especially the case if the Mongols like built a temple here and expand their borders. Then they get that extra territory, which comes with a lot of benefits, like I mentioned. But it doesn't stop the Iroquois from just planting a city right here in the new expanded territory. I should be ending turns. So they're still in the ancient era. Team Coastal. No contact, he says. He's not doing anything too scary. Where is he attacking? Oh, I see. I very much see. Keep going with Karag. Typo will be there. I don't think you guys have a healthy understanding of like the geography of this map. Yeah, Typo will definitely not be there. Typo's all the way over here. You will be there, I hope. Yeah, okay. So, next turn, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in 6 turns minimum, or maximum, they will make contact unless this dies to the galley. So let's see what kind of battle he has cut out for himself. It's not on a hill, but it is across a river. And it is size 7. Or size 7 or higher. So that's as good as having walls. So it's with the fortification bonus, that's an 100% defense bonus. Now he's playing smart. He brought his archers and his swordsmen to the party. So let's investigate and see what's going on in Spain. So what's this city we're trying to look at? Barcelona? Yeah, it's not bad. He's got some units up here. Yeah, I'd say that's about 25 units. That's how Ironclad plays. Like I said, early middle game, he's capable of big rushes. So that's Ironclad. Let's see what the Netherlands have. Not a lot of spearmen. It's the Hague, I think. Oh no. Rotterdam. Okay, 3 regular archers, 3 regular spearmen. Yeah, he actually has enough to take this out, depending on how fast he reinforces. Yeah, I think the Dutch have... We'll see what's in Amsterdam. Okay, depending on how fast he reinforces... If he just dumps all his units over to Rotterdam right now, I'd say he holds off no problem. And he should really be aware that this might be an issue. Because, like, that road was not settled. Oh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 and 9. Oh, that's only 21 units. Against 6 plus 4 plus 1. Plus whatever they built. Plus 2 more. Yeah, plus the 100% defense bonus. If he reinforces, if he knows how to reinforce, because it's Control-Shift-G is the way to reinforce under a siege. He might not know how to do that, though. Yeah, you'll see him trying right now. Oh, he got in. Oh, he opened with the swordsman, and now he's attacking with the archers. Okay, yeah, he's fucked. Okay, we got a game on our hands right now. Team Coastal is making a comeback. Looks like he didn't reinforce from Amsterdam, though. If anything, Amsterdam actually has more units. Huh. So he's not going to be able to... I think if he tries to push forward into Amsterdam, he's going to hit a brick wall. And he's not going to be able to take the city. And the Hague is 2 tiles away. Oh, no, the Hague is... Okay, he could use this road and sneak into the Hague that way. And the Hague isn't even size 7. There's no walls there, so... Yeah, if he goes for that, he can take the city. It'd be pretty trivial to cut the roads here. Yeah. 6 warriors, 6 archers, 2 spearmen. Okay. So what kind of position would we say the game is in if he successfully takes out the Hague real quick? I'd say that's a favorable game for Team Coastal then. Satellite Knight is just not really doing enough to make up for the Ironclad would be able to expand as big as he wanted uninterrupted. He'd also be able to do a quick attack against Orangine in combination with Sid, Typo. So because of those factors, he would have a lot of options in what route he wants to pursue. So just based on that flexibility, I'd give him the advantage. I would not count this team. I mean, they're still behind in tech. Jesus. He's not even trying. Yeah. they've still got a big hill to climb. Like, I'd say the Mongols are in a strong position defensively, although they didn't plant the city on the hill. Okay, if there's one takeaway from these videos, it's that plant your cities on a front on a hill. Oh, what? Whoa, what the fuck? Shit. I missed that. Oh my god. Kyoto didn't even say he was attacking anything. I guess I should pay more attention to this front. France. Chartres. Yeah, this is like the strength of the three right here, that they're very capable players of achieving kills and making offensive plays. So even though they're at a disadvantage in terms of numbers, if they find themselves in the position where, hey, we got to do something desperate to win, they're very well equipped to do that. Ooh. Oh, they got their iron hooked. Interesting. Yeah. So the only hope at this point would be if Spain was to cut this road, but I think the Dutch seem to know that's what's up. And so they're guarding it very intently. Are the Greeks sending units south? No, I thought this might be a front between the Iroquois and the Greeks. Cid and Silent Knight, but it hasn't been the case. Okay, here it comes. Let's check out the hog. That's the one he wants to go for. Just based on the units in it. Alciode doesn't even tell his team until like half an hour later that he'd taken a city from Halu. Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are, Ironclad. Anyway, yeah, going. He doesn't see what's in Amsterdam or in The Hague, so he might not know that this is the better defended city. But still, because this one's size 7 and this one's not, he'd be kind of silly to go for Amsterdam. Like, you're pretty much going to have to take down every unit in both these cities to take the city. To take one city, unless you cut the road. Yeah, here it is. Okay, he got his Swiss mercenary in. There's still only 3 units in that city, unless... Oh. Yeah, he reconsidered. So he... If he had moved fast, I think he could have taken the city. He does have enough archers. That's... it's actually only 9 archers. Looks like instead he's choosing to... Oh, cut roads, yeah. But all of his swordsmen were damaged, so... I definitely understand him being hesitant. I'd do the same thing in his position. I think he could have taken the city, but still... I wouldn't have tried if I was him. I don't know why he's keeping these archers on the side of the river. It's not going to do much good. Huh, so the French can actually definitely push towards this horse. I don't know how good horses are going to be for them. So if he just dumps the rest of his swordsmen over here, I think he can take the hog out, though. There's an island in the corner. So this is actually a custom map. When you're making, like, I had to like design the city so it looked this way, and so it had all this money making crap in it. And I also made sure the map was like relatively balanced, which it seems to be. Like, I think I did a good job at it. I didn't know who would spawn in which location and like which, like, for all I knew, it could have been these 3 civs on a team together. And I didn't know like whether a strong player is going to spawn out here isolated or a weak one. But one thing I could do, like, with a custom map is like make situations that would never occur on a random map. So I was thinking like a donut map, which sometimes happens when you play Pangaea. But then have all the iron and all the horses on like little islands in the center of the map. So people are forced to use naval combat if they want them. Okay, I'm wondering what the Spanish are doing here. I think they were relying on being able to finish them off. And they went more towards expand. Like, they did their big sledge, is what we call it. Like, it's like a timing push in Civ. It's called a sledge. So they did. The Spanish did their sledge, and then they switched into expansion. Like, after that, they built a bunch of settlers, which is normally advisable. Because any other units you build will be late to the party, but sometimes you need those units who are late to the party to finish off the defending civ. So because of that, if the Dutch hold off this push right here, they're going to run out of steam. They're probably not going to lose Rotterdam, so they're still in a very good position. And now when they want to attack, they won't have to cross the river, so that's going to be very good for them. Oh, typo. When did that happen? Seems like he almost grabbed a city, too. Good for him. Okay, I actually kind of forgot about this front, and this front might start to light up soon. So this is the front between the Mongols and the Spanish. So we'll check the Mongols with our spy. Do we have spies on everybody? We'll check what the knight situation is for Team Diagonal. Because I believe they do have chivalry now, yeah. So we'll see how many knights they have out. So the Dutch have 4 Swiss. That's enough to definitely dissuade any attack. Although I still think the Spanish could brute force it if they tried. Germany declared war in the Green. Okay, yeah, they're just getting their golden age. So brute forcing means... Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that. I guess they cut the city off and they took it. Yeah. That was a close one, too. So I'd say the game is about even now. There's still a massive tech lead for... Jesus, please tell me they have contact now. Okay. No, they don't. They're going to have contact next turn, though, at the latest. I mean, with a successful attack from the Iroquois, I think this actually might be a favorable situation for Team Coastal. The Mongols, I don't think they could handle sustained pressure from both the Spanish. Okay. One thing about Silent Knight is he kind of like exaggerates the pressure he's under and how likely it is that he will die. And that's what's happening here. Like, you don't need units necessarily, you just need vision. Like, if you have a unit here and a unit here, you can tell, well, it's going to be another 7 turns or whatever until the Spanish can actually get their stack to my city. And that's even if the Spanish decide to like pick up their stack. I mean, they'd have to heal it first and walk to Thermopylae, which I don't think they will. I think they're going to pivot and go after the Mongols. Quixote is very safe and content here, I'd say. Okay, that's an accurate assessment. I think this actually was a good attack for Typo. Oh! It looks like the French are going to be able to hook this iron unless the Germans can do something real quick to interfere. I did not think that was likely, given the Germans have inconsistent access, but they have access nonetheless to iron from the Greeks. He has GA with Kishik. Okay, yeah. Let's see what's going on. Seems like the important front. It's weird how all the action, I mean, it's not weird at all, sorry. It makes total sense that the action is mostly happening down here because that's where the resources are. Although I think if the Germans launched an attack, they could... Let's see what's in Rouen. Now, if I was Hallow, I'd assume that Rouen was extremely well guarded, but if there's anything I'm learned from playing Spectator mode, it's... oh, that's pretty well guarded, I'd say. Given they can bring in units from other cities, yeah. Walls would be nice. If there was walls, I'd feel 100% secure as the French. But there's no walls yet. So let's do the knight check. The Greeks have 1 knight. Oh, that's not bad, I guess. Typo going for horses and iron. Yeah. I mean, it would have been nice if Silent Knights had started earlier to either road in this direction or just place some units on the key tiles. He's starting that now, though, and he did have really bad land, so that's excusable. Oh, yeah, definitely. He's... Typo is kind of out of position here, but I think he will be able to hook at least the horses. Oh, we didn't finish the spy look. So the Iroquois is just a bunch of archers. In case you guys didn't watch the video, I'll link it below on like the changes between QC and regular Civ 3. QC, the Greeks get their hoplites at feudalism, the Carthaginians get their Numidian mercenaries at feudalism, and the Iroquois get their mounted warriors at astronomy. They're just the same unmodded units. The only difference, yeah, those are the only differences. And I guess Germany gets a dummy Golden Age knight. It's just a regular knight that gives a Golden Age. So aside from that, all the civs have the regular regular unique units. They all have the same stats. Yeah. So for that reason, Iroquois they got good traits, but they're kind of a weak civ. That's a really smart idea from the Spanish, doing great library. Germany Knight, yeah. Although he's not really starting, Oh, that's strange. Germany seems to be going for this iron. They know. Oh, God. Okay, 6 Keshiks from the Mongols. That's not much in the moment, but it's a good start. 9 horsemen. Okay, he's probably going to do an upgrade play. Notice that he's actually discontinued building archers and swordsmen. So I think he's pivoting towards knights for the mid to late game. Someone isn't doing their job. And taking tabs. So they made contact with each other. I mean, they must have by this point. Yeah, they made contact with each other, but none of them did construction and currency, so they're still not in the next year. God. Germany. Okay, yeah. They're just giving each other golden ages. Okay. Hello, roading to me. Is trying to secure himself iron, I think. Nothing too malicious. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And we're back. So, I was thinking we could do like a critique of the different players. Basically, what I would do differently if I was them, and how well I think they're playing this game and handling things. So, let's start with Orangine. I'd say they're playing the situation perfect. They got contact early on. They're playing very defensively. They built a lot of cities, and so they're going to have a high productive capacity in the late game, and they're going to be able to build a lot of Keshiks. And they're just doing their job of holding off Typo really, really well. Haven't been paying too much attention to what they're teching, but they seem to have like a strong economy based on what I'm seeing here. Lots of roads, lots of cities. Not crazy over the unit cap, so yeah, A+. Typo. He's playing in his style, and I think basically one of the reasons he's doing poorly in this game is because Orangine was playing so well. I would have expanded a bit more if I was him. I just don't think it's worth going for these kind of rushes if you only have archers. Especially since it was kind of telegraphed with the... There was only one spot that Orangine could reasonably expect that Typo would attack him. At least with land units, that is. Maybe he thought Typo would have horses, but... Anyway. Yeah, because of that, I think Typo could definitely... He should have built more cities, and he's been having some better luck. His second attack was definitely successful, so I don't know what he did differently there, but he was successful in that. But aside from that, yeah, he needs to be building more cities to help out his team, especially in like a 3v4. Either you need to kill or you need to be building cities. Yeah, so I'd give him probably a C+ right now. So, Ironclad. I think Typo might not have been communicating properly where his location is, because Typo is just physically incapable, really, of contacting El Quixote, at least not without building some coastal cities. There is a big miscommunication on the team in terms of getting contact and why they have contact so late, and I think that's mostly Ironclad's fault. He was the Seafaring Civ. He should have been the one who just sent a galley up here, like 4 moves or 3 moves on a Kurag, and got contact with El Quixote sooner. At the same time, though, he did what he was supposed to do, like to open up this game to solve the kind of tech hole they were in, being behind on techs and being behind in players too. What he really needed to do was kill the Dutch, and he did that. So I really can't give him any fault for that. So we'll give him definitely an A. Yeah. I mean, he's just a strong player in general, so an A for him would be an A++ for anybody else, but yeah. So Silent Knight, I'll definitely give Silent Knight a pass on this kind of land, because, I mean, it seems like he isn't too skilled at microing growth or microing tile yields to ensure that your city grows faster. But I can definitely, like, with that aside, I can make still some criticisms of his playstyle here. His second city should have been the floodplains. He should have recognized that this city would have low growth and that it would set him back even more if he built in that direction. If he got this floodplains city out sooner, he would have had significantly more population, although because of the bad land, it would have still been a little slow. It would have been nice if he had occupied some of his territory over here. He's kind of making up for that now, though, so good for him. And he might not have known necessarily that there would be like key resources that the Iroquois don't otherwise have access to up in this valley over here. So since he's getting involved with us now, and since his land was so crap, we'll give him a pass for that. We'll call it a B-, I guess. Who's next? I think this is really Halley dropping the ball this game. He seems to have been doing good in tech, but he let El Quixote kind of run over him, and I mean, he let El Quixote hook iron. Like, Halley had iron and horses, and El Quixote had neither of those. And he also didn't have tech. Like, Halley had access to knights early and pikemen, and he's still... Oh! Okay, I take back what I said. Okay, I was going to give him like a D plus or something like that, but we'll call it a C. Maybe... Yeah, I think sending those troops early to the Spanish didn't really make much sense. He was kind of behind on growth for a lot of the early game. And he's still not even one of the bigger civs. So yeah, we'll give him a D plus or a C minus. Yeah, a C minus, we'll say. So El Quixote, he's been communicating poorly, but that's par for the course with El Quixote. I wouldn't expect anything else from him. And he did say pretty clearly, although delayed, that he took Halley down a city. So we'll give him a contact on that, or sorry, a pass on that. He sent his Kurag out really, really early, which I think is very, very key. So even though he didn't really announce that he had his Kurag coming, he did send it, and that is the important part. You can talk about making contact all you want, but if you're not really doing the easiest path, like, it should have been the job of El Quixote, and especially Ironclad, and El Quixote did his job, so I can't fault him for anything like that. So yeah, definitely a plus in his favor, and he took Halley down a city. He secured resources for himself in a situation where he shouldn't have had resources. I think they didn't have... Yeah, they don't have feudalism, so he wasn't able to get pikemen, but he did get some swordsmen out, which is really key. I think he was sitting on a lot of gold, too. So he's going to be in a strong position. Halley coming through me soon, I think. Yeah, he actually might be. Oh, how many units does he have in there? Check the hog. Oh, yeah. So yeah, in that case, might be a good idea what Hal is doing here. What can I fault El Quixote for? Yeah, nothing that's aside from the communication. He's played this all very, very well. So I'm going to give him an A+ for this game. So yeah, that's how things are. I think Orangine and SOS... I think not reinforcing here was really... that was a blunder. So we'll give SOS a C. So yeah, to a certain extent... Team Diagonal's dropping the ball a bit. I think they had a strong position to start with. And Team Coastal's doing quite well. So that's why they have asserted like a better position on this map. Typo Yellow's... Oh, he's Mongols are going to attack him, he says. I guess they could like plan an attack together. If Halu and the Mongols were to hit Spain together, I think they might be able to kill him. Like that, I didn't even see that possibility coming. Just it's Greece is spending some units too. They haven't been talking about it, and since they're just so far away from Spain, I didn't think this was likely. But he's just ignoring France and going straight for the jugular here. This could be an effective tactic. So let's do the knight check again. I think Spain still doesn't have pikemen too. And they don't even have spearmen, so they can't really upgrade. Most of their army is horsemen. Horsemen are garbage on defense, of course. Those would be good as knights later on, if you could upgrade them, but I think he's really behind in tech. 4 knights from Greece. Yeah, that definitely helps. Hallow is one down. Yeah, he is. What happened to the Iroquois army? Did they try to attack again? Oh, yeah. It looks like he did. Typo is getting horseback. Yeah, Silent Knight's doing a good job here. Yeah, that's good communication, too. Okay, I guess one thing they did well is deny contact, Team Diagonal, and probably Halu too. Like, if the French had just sent a warrior down here, they could have got contact pretty easily, but that never happened. So, oh yeah, we're doing a night check. Iroquois have almost nothing. The Mongols could kill whoever they want right now, I think. They could definitely kill the Iroquois. Like, they have more Keshiks than the Iroquois has units. Yeah, the Iroquois have 15 units, including 6 horsemen, which are basically useless on defense, and warriors too. So, we'll see if they're wise enough to do that. They might be gearing up to attack the Spanish, though. The Spanish are also... I mean, we'll see what's in Vitoria. Okay. Yeah, that would fold to 28 Keshiks in no time. Valencia is probably even worse. Yeah. Okay, let's see where those Keshiks actually are on the map. Are they all in Darhan, or... Yeah, you can just kill them whenever you want, dude. He has enough troops to kill both of those civs simultaneously. He's got the road, which is the important part. And Spain seems to be really focusing on the northern frontier. Oh, yeah, there goes his vision. Oh, I guess I understand what happened right now. So Team Coastal wasn't able to get their Golden Ages. Team Diagonal is all in Golden Age. Like, each of these 3 civs is all in Golden Age. So, yeah, they're kind of going to run away with the game. I guess that's the advantage to having the tech lead. I think it's also a civ issue, though. Spain is a weak civ, Iroquois is a weak civ, and France is kind of middle of the road, but definitely late game focused. I don't know, they're pretty balanced, but they will be late game focused if you're slow on tech, you know, because they won't get their Golden Age until gunpowder. Okay, so the Spanish just got feudalism, so this is their chance to hold on. I just think, like, as long as the stack enters the Spanish land, then the Spanish will die. No question about it. If he gets distracted and decides not to attack, if the French launch an attack and kill the Germans or something, that's the only thing I can think of. I just can't wait for the Great Library. When's that coming? We'll see how far along it is. Grab a spy first. Nice. So Spain investigates city. Madrid, he was building it in. Oh yeah, that's too late. You guys are going to be dead by then. So that means he's going to be stacking horsemen, which is going to be bad for him if the Mongols come knocking. Not streaming. And yeah, it is recording. I've messed that up before. So this is a good game. It's actually competitive, which is nice to see. Okay, based on, he renamed a city 1, which is like a defensive move. It lets you Control-Shift-G your units into the city easier if you need to reinforce the city. Let's do another knight check. Yeah, France is 14 swordsmen. 21 archers. If he assembled those in the right location, he could... He doesn't even have a road to Frankfurt, though. No walls there. Yeah, he could just kill Frankfurt if... Does he have any horsemen? He has 1 horseman. Okay, yeah. That's... I guess he doesn't know. Wait, what the... Why is that... Oh, he's trying to clear the Germans out of his land, and the Germans can't attack yet, but... Yeah, this does not bode well for the Spanish. Neither of these cities are on hills, too. He has access to walls in The Hague. That's good for him. So France, Spain. Oh yeah, it's just... He's spent these units trying to... Like his land units, like his infantry, he's spent trying to clean up the knights, and all he has left is horsemen. I guess that's it. So they don't have monotheism. So we'll look at this. He gets the Great Library in 5 turns, unless he does some micro. 5 turns. The next turn he gets monotheism, the next turn he gets chivalry. Because that's how it works in multiplayer, that you can only get like... You can get like... I'd get like these 7 techs, and then I'd get the next row of like mathematics and mysticism, then I'd get this, this, and this. In single player, you get it all at once, but it takes time in multiplayer. So in 7 turns, he'll have chivalry, and then he can upgrade all those knights, and he won't be in danger anymore. Team Diagonal has 7 turns to execute some sort of attack. Otherwise, this game swings back in the favor of Team Diagonal. Because not only do they're saving gold, right, that they can use for these upgrades. And not only that, they just literally get all the techs they need. So I'd say that puts them in an advantageous spot. They also haven't had their golden ages yet, so... Jesus, just do it, man. Do it. Come on. Communicate, guys. You can literally just stand on that mountain. Okay, end of next T then. Yeah, that will work. Could do end of turn 5 turns from now and it'd probably still work. It just has to be done at some point. Like, I can't stress enough how important it is to actually use your units and not just have them sitting around in your base all game. I mean, he's got to have saltpeter because he's got so much desert. He's continuing to expand, though. That's interesting. We were doing the night check, of course. Spain, just horsemen. 26 knights. Where are these knights? He's streaming them in. I mean, that's good as a distraction tactic, definitely. I guess it's good to keep a bunch in reserve in Brandenburg in case the French attack. Let's check out what he's got there. So we're looking for the city of Brandenburg. Here we are. Okay, lots of luxuries for the team diagonal. I didn't consider that, but that definitely puts them in an advantageous position. Okay, so solid defense, not a lot of knights, but he's got the archers and pikemen, walls, and it's on a hill. I think even if they attacked with their 14 swordsmen and 20 archers or whatever, he'd be able to at least get the knights in from other cities to defend. Frankfurt's another story, but there's still no roads. It's looking bad for the Spanish. It is 2 attack against 3 defense. I'm going to throw him a smiley face. Okay, here comes the Doomstack from Darhan. So 6 Greek knights. Fuck all from the Iroquois. They're not going to be a factor here. 44 Keshiks and enough pikemen and longbowmen that they can just leave these guys at home and then take all the Keshiks with them. Not that Keshiks are the greatest defenders, but yeah. Holy shit, that's a lot of spearmen. Oh, nice. Good for you, SK. Oh, he took the iron. Yeah, that's key. Elka now is a good time to hit them. Oh, this is going to be a really big turn. Here it comes. Oh my god. Let's see what's in Vittoria. Yeah, not enough. Respectable in a different circumstance, but not in this circumstance. What's in Rotterdam? Oh, he's been slaving hard. Let's see the hog. Okay, he's got lots of units in there, but they're out of position. Yeah, here it comes. Here's the oh shit moment. Weak to me. Yeah, it does. Typo is not doing too well right now. It's like I say, though, if you focus too hard on aggression in the early game and you don't build, you're just going to fall behind. The same thing applies to defense, too. Like, you have to recognize that your enemies are going to be, like, your strong enemies, or at least, are going to be expanding hard. And so you can't be focused too much on defense. You have to take some risks, and, I mean, they're very small risks, but you have to be prepared to play with relatively few units. You can't play as safely as you want to play. Let's see if we can do this. He's dying. He won't mind. Does he just have no units over here? Or did I steal someone else's plans? Oh, he did it in one turn. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much a good game then. Unless the... Let's see Frankfurt. Okay, yeah, he's starting to actually defend Frankfurt. Okay. Yeah, that's the end of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed. So let me know in the future if you'd like to see more multiplayer casts like this. I think this one was definitely a success. And yeah, let me know what you think of the game. Thanks for watching.